Sorry folks for the 2 week delay. I have not done a single YouTube video for 2 weeks because I've had the Walking Dead flu. It has been awful. Absolutely awful. I will never ever ever complain about getting a cold ever again because this has been really really bad. I don't know if it was a swine flu or what the fuck this shit was, but I was fucking laid out. They even actually had to call out of work on a Sunday last week, and that's the first time I've ever called out of work. Ever. So, it was pretty bad. Literally started getting sick the night that Flight 370 went missing. And the only thing on TV has been Don Lemon and that damn CNN coverage. Don Lemon needs to go look for some dick or something. I mean, fuck. The kid has been on television non-stop. He used to just be like weekend coverage, and he's been on TV ever since that plane went missing. I don't even know if he even goes to sleep. So, he needs to go find some dick. But, oh my god. And then I also found out that the building that I'm living in, this is going to happen quite a bit, so I'm sorry. The building that I'm living in used to be a mortuary, I found out. And the actual body storage was on the second floor where I live, which explains some things. But I have a coworker who now is convinced that I'm actually not sick, I'm just possessed by Satan. And that's not true. It only sounds like that at night, but it's really just like my liver juices and stuff coming up through my nose and everything. I'm not really sick. I mean, not really possessed. Okay. So, I've got 2 weeks to cover, because I like to cover every single week. I don't skip a week. Last week, everyone seemed to be really, really, really into Shade, the Rusical. I'm sorry, maybe it was the fact that I had a 105-degree temperature, but I was not that impressed. Courtney Act and Adore Delano both were the stars of the show. The idols. And, I mean, I liked their singing. It was great. It made the entire musical. But everybody else was, ugh. Ugh. They were just atrocious. I couldn't stand it. And April Carry-On ended up being booted last week. Now, if you'll notice, every week when someone gets booted, I do like a little graphic, beside my picture here. It was very hard. First of all, it's really hard when you're sick and you don't really want to do this shit. But it's really, really hard trying to find a graphic of a manly looking lesbian, because April Carry-On has been known for her butch characters, and her first scene was when she came in with that parachute on, so I was looking for a graphic of a butch lesbian looking soldier, paratrooper, who had gotten his parachute caught in a tree and buzzards were eating out his eyes. Because of Carry-On. Yeah. Play on words. Couldn't find that graphic. So unfortunately, there's not going to be an April Carry-On graphic. There will be a Gia pet graphic for Gia. If you're seeing it here, then you know that I did my job and it was successful. If not, then it's an epic fail. But see ya, Gia. So glad she's gone. She was starting to grate on my nerves. But it's funny because the very last episode of Gia, they made her seem pretty stable, pretty reasonable, and pretty cool. If they had done that editing this entire season, I wouldn't have gotten tired of her. Trinity K. Bonet. Ugh. Let me tell you. I like her. I like her looks. But man, she's a buzzkill. She does not seem excited to be there. I described her that she's about as animated as a comic strip. Because there's no movement. There's no real emotion coming out. It's just like a ink on paper. That's all it seems like. Her runway looks are awesome. Like I said, she looks amazing when she hits that runway, but she does not. She just seems over everything. Everything. All the time when she's in that workroom. Oh, God. Last week she was over it because the competition was about singing, and she only lip syncs, so she was just, I'm a drag queen. This is not fun for me. She just was not having it. She never has it, though. She just not into it. This week, she was over it because Santino Rice, if you watch Untucked, Santino Rice was making fun of her temporary teeth, her flipper, her snap-on smile, and how they made her sound. He was just mocking the way she sounds. I think that only really has traction because of that one challenge where she could not enunciate last week. It was Shade, the Rusical. She couldn't enunciate when she was talking. And they made fun of her for that last week. Well, they decided to make fun of it this week, too. So she just was not having it. Like most of the queens, she hates Santino Rice. Then, to explain her behavior this week, she decides to tell us that she's HIV positive. Now, I am not, so I can imagine it's pretty traumatic when you first get the news. I think she said she got the news like 2 years ago. And I know there's still sort of a stigma in the community about having it, but Angina had it, and Angina came out, and Angina was a fun, happy person. Just be fun and happy, because you're there. You beat other people out. Just go there and enjoy the experience. Okay, well, this week was Snatch game, which is always my favorite episode every year. I was kind of not impressed, though, this year. There were certain people that were great. Bianca Del Rio is amazing. Just give her the title now because she's just absolutely amazing. Ben Della Creme did the whole Downton Abbey type crap, the old woman. It was funny. Gotta give her that, but didn't really know Maggie Smith. Don't care to watch the show. So, even though she won, I was just like, She won. It should have been Bianca Del Rio. Or Adore Delano. Adore Delano's Anna Nicole Smith was hilarious. Kind of disrespectful. But it was pretty funny. Now, Adore had some pretty good lines in this episode. Like when she was talking about Gia was planning on being Selena. You know when somebody plans to be someone like Selena that they're going home. But she made she was like, how are you going to make that funny? Are you going to say I was shot by Yolanda? And for some reason that just struck me so inappropriate and so funny. But I really like that Adore Delano and Bianca seem to be bonding. I think Adore had said that Bianca was like her stepmom and she cinched her and everything so that Michelle Visage didn't make fun of her waist anymore. And it was also kind of poignant that she had brought up in the workroom that Adore Delano has felt like she has a very misshapen body. And it hurts her. And then Ben Della Creme has to tell us that she used to be overweight. And she struggled with weight all her life. And it was this really sad moment. And they kept panning the camera over to Darian, who's the big girl this season. And Darian was just listening. And they would go back to Dora, and they would go back to Ben Della Creme, talking about how she's always struggled with her weight. And then it would pan over to Darian. Darian wouldn't say anything, but they would just pan over to Darian. And then back. 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 It was so inappropriate editing that we had two skinny girls talking about how they are struggling with body image and how fat they look. And the camera keeps going to the big girl. So shady. So shady. But anyway, Laganja Estranja was up for elimination and had lip sync against Gia this week. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more times when Laganja Estranja is going to be up for elimination, having a lip sync for her life, because, oh no, I'm just not feeling it. I thought I would, but that's pretty much it. I'm completely done. I had to condense both of my reviews down to one episode, and that's it. One last thing I want to say. I want to rant for a little bit. I have some Facebook friends who are always bitching and complaining about spoilers. It doesn't matter if it's Walking Dead. It doesn't matter if it is RuPaul's Drag Race, Survivor, Amazing Race. These people constantly bitch about how upset they are that they go on Facebook and on Twitter and they find out the truth before they can watch the episode. Okay, first of all, you got a Facebook addiction. If you can't stay off of Facebook for more than an hour, you really need to get that fixed. I know when I'm having to miss an episode because I'm at work, I know not to go on Facebook if I don't want to know the truth. So I just don't go on Facebook. But some of these people, they are just constantly going on Facebook and then bitching about the spoilers, and they're making up excuses as to why they had to get on Facebook. Like the stars would stop shining. The moon would crash to the earth if they had to be off of Facebook for that hour. They make up so many excuses. One guy had said that there was a recipe he needed that his mother had posted on Facebook that he had to get immediately to start cooking last night. Okay, you're cooking at 10 o'clock at night. First of all, that's a problem. And this is not fucking Pinterest. Tell your mother to stop posting recipes on Facebook and start posting that shit on Pinterest like everybody else. Okay? This is not Pinterest. Another friend was saying, oh, well, I had to go and contact a friend who did not have my phone number. Okay, first of all, if you have to go on Facebook and this person does not have your phone number, that person is not a friend. That person is a booty call. And you can wait at least an hour before you go on Facebook to find out where they're going to meet you. Okay? Oh my Lord. And I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Why are you all of a sudden wanting to touch base with your friends at that exact same moment that an episode is ending and you're going to find out who got kicked off the show? I just don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. Why at that exact moment do you have to go online? Can't you just wait just a few more minutes? Just a few more minutes. That's all. That's all. The world's not going to end. You can wait. You can wait. Trust me. You can wait. It's going to be okay. Oh my God. It really, out of all the friends you have to touch base with, you know, there's some friends I'm sure would really like you to contact them. Like Tom from MySpace. He was your very first social media friend. Have you tried getting in touch with him? No? And you really should, because that poor bastard has no friends now. It's because of people like you. People like you.